And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new sixth installment of the Scream franchise, Scream 6. Starring Jenny Ortega, Melissa Barron, I probably butchered, I apologize, Hayden Panettiere, and Courtney Cox. So, Scream 6. Let's talk about it. First of all, before I talk about it, I gotta say, I love the Scream franchise. I love every single movie in the franchise. Some are weaker than the others, but I still love them regardless. They're all amazing films. But I've seen this movie now. I was able to, sit with it for a couple of days. I'm going to see it again. This right now is the best Scream in the franchise. So I'm going to start by saying that. So this movie does take place inside New York City, a whole new environment. You have Jenny Ortega's Tara and her sister Samantha. They're in college, just trying to live a normal life. Unfortunately, the Ghostface killings start popping up again in New York City this time around. And they don't know what's going on. Them and their friends, they're trying to figure out, like, oh, we're involved. Should we get involved? What do we do? Do we bounce? Do we just get out of town? They're just trying to figure out how to leave. You have Gail Weathers back, aka Courtney Cox. She's there doing her thing, trying to report as usual. And then, of course, we get the return of Kirby from Scream 4, who wasn't dead, who we all thought was. Spoiler for the trailer. She's in the trailers, so if you did not see the trailers, I'm sorry. So she comes back. She's now apparently a police officer or FBI agent or whatever she's at. She is. Excuse me. And she helps the group basically try to figure out who the heck is the new Ghostface killer or killers. Because, in the other movies, there's multiple times there could be more. So, how does this movie compare to the other ones? Well, as a great continuation of the fifth one, because I thought the fifth one was very, very clever of kind of copying the first one, but also making it feel fresh and new. Bringing back, Dewey, Sidney, Gail. Obviously, Sidney's not in this film. So, you wonder, was that going to be a big piece of the movie missing without her? Not necessarily, because normally when you watch the other sequels of Scream, Sidney's hardly there, and then she shows up, like in Scream 3. Scream 3, she doesn't show up until near the middle of the movie. Yeah, she's in the movie. You see her, but you really don't really see her because you just invested in Ghostface killing the new targets. And it kind of feels, it's the same way here. Yes, you miss Sidney. You miss her being involved. But, just not having her there doesn't mean the film is not as good as the others. It's still a great film. And just having Ghostface use New York City as his new torture playground, as a new environment, it feels fresh. I thought it did a really, really good job of just capturing what exactly New York City is like, when obviously in real life there are some horrible crimes, and some people they would witness that. Sometimes they will say something, sometimes they won't say anything. So it has that whole nostalgia of just being New York City being kind of creepy when it comes to like horror stuff. So yeah, so I love seeing that. I thought that stuff worked. Obviously, Jenny Ortega and the actress who plays her sister, phenomenal. Everybody in the cast from the fifth one who was in this one were all great. Even the new characters were cool. Obviously, Courtney Cox is just, she's like the Lois Lane of the Scream franchise. Like you can't like not have these kind of movies without Gail. Like if I had to choose between Sidney or Gail to be in these movies, I feel like Gail needed to be in here more than Sidney, only because I don't know, Gail is basically, she's a reporter, so she has to go everywhere, when a DC film happens or any kind of DC film happens and there's reporting, news people there, and you have the Daily Planet, but yeah, you don't see Lois Lane, you can tell there's something missing. But it's the same thing here in the Scream franchise. The news happens, Gail Weathers is always there to report it. So, not having Sidney there is fine because you don't need to tell her story anymore. Her story was already over since 4, in my opinion. You know, I was glad to see her in 5, but, you know, honestly, we really didn't really need Sydney anymore. If they bring her back for another one, that'd be cool, but still, I'm just saying. The kills were great. I really enjoyed the kills. I am bummed out. It took me toward the end of the film to guess who the killers were, or was. But yeah, to figure out who did it, that bummed me out because it took me a while to guess who it was, but yeah, I still enjoy this film. I love the Scream franchise, like I said before. I think it gets better as as it keeps going. And if they decide to make a 7th one, honestly, I don't even know where they will go from here, cause yeah, putting it in New York was pretty awesome. The killer felt fresh. He felt faster, stronger. Whoever it was in the mask, well, even though I already know, but still, it was just fun. And I right now, Scream 6 is my favorite Scream movie so far. So yeah, there you go. There's my review for Scream 6. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Are you guys excited that there's another Scream film? Are you guys bummed out that Sydney's not there? Do you want Sydney to come back? Do you think that the story needs her in it, or you think they can just finally move on from her and maybe just leave her alone and let her do her own thing in the universe of Scream? Whatever you think it is, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good day.